So hello, we're now at the next step to install Pyenv. Um, Actually, I did this and the video didn't work, so I just have me go through the Git repo here, how it really works. So let's see the promise: simple Python version management with Pyenv. Pyenv lets you easily switch between multiple versions of Python. It's simple, unobtrusive, and follows the Unix tradition of single-purpose tools that do one thing well. So it's really good. I had like issues in the past with installing the wrong Python distribution or like changing something in system Python because I didn't know what I'm doing. Like with installing something, they were changing something which had like some nasty effects, etc. So this allows you to install them really easy and especially separate them from whatever your system needs. And was really useful. You can set a global one, so when you use them Python, it always uses the global one, so I usually keep those up to date. You can install a new version with pyenv install, and then the version. So I always go with the standard ones, but there are many to pick from, and you can change that for every folder because you can set it here, as you see, on a folder level as well. So with that being said, so here's my terminal command. So when you install it, so we installed our my status h. I did a mistake here with a pure theme that doesn't exist anymore. It's the one I like. I have to externally install it, but it doesn't really matter. So forget about this thing here. So to be able to install stuff, we have to follow here the installation instructions. There is a reference somewhere for installation issues here, common build problems. So here on Ubuntu and Debian where we are, it requires us to have all these packages installed. I guess they're good to have anyway, so I just copy pasted this here and installed all these dependencies. So that took a little bit. And like 84 seconds, not too bad. Then I did a reboot. Then I SSH'd into the server again. Then I was fixing the theme back to the refined one. So it's good. I then followed the other instructions to let me check pyenv dev null. Yeah, that's this command here. Yeah, so here, so that it enables shim and auto completion. So this stuff is, I added it also here to this one. So I change here bash profile with this one, so it gets added to this SSH. And this one I also did here for adding those here to the path, and so they to the path, and like so we have pyenv support on the load of a new terminal session. So then we executed and tested it. Then we installed Python 3.8.3. So here's the test. So pyenv works. You get a bunch of commands like install, global, local, yeah. So the and versions. So I ran versions, so said nothing is installed. Pyenv version gives me a result of the system one, which is kind of strange, but okay. Then I said pyenv install -l, which gives me all the available versions that are there. So here's like the huge list. So I pick always the latest one. that's like here available if it's like a numbered release already, so I would not install 3.9 like alphas and stuff. No need for that. Here's Anaconda, Miniconda, PyPI, PyPy, Stackless, etc. So, and then installed Python 3.8.3, and this took 5 minutes, and that's where I actually wanted to continue. So here we are. So let's do Pyenv versions. So we now have one version installed, which is 3.8.3. And when I look into global, it uses that. So what we can do now is like 3.8.3. Now we set this to global, and now let's see if that worked out. We now have Python 3.8.3 as our standard Python, which is pretty awesome. And we have also pip. And we see now that we only have those two packages installed, just like update them. And now we can make a dir, make a directory, and say pyenv test. And I go into the directory, check which Python we are using. So it's now part of the shims. And here I can then check again. So it's now this one. And now if I want in this, like a local one, like the system is not found in path. Yeah, this is like the issue I said before, that I'm not sure why I don't have system in here, but we can also install 2.7 dot, the most up-to-date 2. Release 18, okay. So just like installing that, so we have something else I can activate here on a local path. So I'll be with you in a second here until this is finished. All right, and we are back. So that took 175 seconds. Let's check Pyenv versions, if we now have more. Yeah, cool. So we see the active one for this folder is 3.8.3 because it's the global one. But if I now set Pyenv local to 7.2.18, I will now have that one. I will have also like some other stuff when it comes to pip, okay, some warnings. And when I look at the versions, I now see for this folder, I have 2.718 active, which is here in set root by this file. So, and when I go out of the folder, I have 3.8 again, and no, of course, no Python versions file. So that's that. Now we have another one, which is like Pyenv, and we all know that we need to create like virtual environments. So that is quite nice. And do that with Pyenv since Python 3.3. And hope that sort of works. So now we have to source tutorial to tutorial in activate like this here. And now our virtual environment is active. So I can now do pip install Flask. That doesn't take so long. And so now I have like a bunch of stuff installed. And when I go down here to the root, I do like pip list again. I'm still in the in this virtual environment, so I have to deactivate it first. And I found this super, super annoying to think about where I actually am when I work with virtual environments. Now I should get the shortlist again. So for that, I use a tool called Pyenv, and this is what the next video is going to be about. So we can combine Pyenv with Pyenv and Vyenv, so to say. So we have like a super clean setup on how to manage our, like create our Python installations and manage them, create like, and that on a folder level, as well as creating virtual environments, like with that automatically change to the one we have set for the specific folder.